Hello, welcome to WEBfactory's i4SCADA Studio tutorial series. In the last videos, we've explored the configuration of industry-standard connectors inside i4SCADA Studio. This time we're talking about the BACnet connector. Before going on, make sure you have i4SCADA and i4BACnet installed and the WEBfactory server and BACnet service running on your machine. And since today we're exploring the BACnet connector in i4SCADA, make sure you have access to your BACnet device on the network or use a software simulator like I'll do. We first need to add a BACnet connector in our i4SCADA project. Like with any other connector, use the SCADA server's contextual menu. The BACnet connector configuration panel is opened in the bottom section. To browse the network for BACnet devices, we need to provide the BACnet broker URL to the connector. Since we've installed i4BACnet on this machine, I'll open up the BACnet service settings page running on the local host. Get the broker URL and paste it in the connector's configuration panel URL field. Now we can click the New button to browse our BACnet devices. The Properties Selector window allows us to inspect the BACnet devices available in the network. I can expand the device to its objects and their properties and import what I need, but the coolest part is the Filter by Property ID functionality. Let's say I need to manage the archive properties of all the objects across the device, or even across multiple devices. I can select the ID of the property I need to manage and simply import all. You can see in the bottom status bar that two properties have been imported, since these are the archive properties available across all my BACnet device's objects. I'll just add all the properties from my device so we have more examples. The selected BACnet object properties are imported as BACnet tags in the i4SCADA connector. You can see the imported structure in the configuration panel's tree menu and use these to filter the tags displayed in the main area of the panel. Each BACnet tag has its own properties displayed in the table view, which you may recognize if you're familiar with BACnet. Let's go through them anyways. We got the signal name, which is the name of the BACnet tag, the BACnet network ID and MAC address of the tag, the object ID and object type, and the property ID. The tag's array index, which can be modified right here in its corresponding cell. A subscription type, which also can be edited here, and I want to stay on this for a bit. You can choose the subscription type suitable for your BACnet property and device. Object change of value, so your tag's value is updated whenever a value changes on the parent object. You can choose property change of value to only update the tag when the BACnet property value is updated. Here you can use the subscription increment to define a hysteresis value, so you don't get spammed with updates below the threshold you're interested in. Properties like present value or status flags will be automatically set to property COV subscription when imported in the i4SCADA's BACnet connector. Of course, you can use polling subscription and adjust the polling interval using the subscription interval property. And you can also use read once subscription, which will update your tag only once when applied, without changing its value anymore after this initial update. One important note here: if the subscription you have selected is not actually supported by the BACnet device, the i4BACnet service will fall back to polling subscription with the default interval, which can be configured in the service settings. The last editable tag property is the priority, useful when you have multiple clients updating the same property simultaneously. And finally, the tag's description, unit, and the parent object and device names. So now that we have our required BACnet tags configured in the connector, let's use it and get i4SCADA signals from it. I'll save the configuration and browse the connector. Studio will see the BACnet tags and allow us to import them as signals. As usual, add them to a signal group. Now all the tags we've talked about are available as normal i4SCADA signals inside Studio. Let's check them out in Test Center. The BACnet connector is available under my SCADA server, so I can import its signals. And there you have it, the BACnet signals working as expected in WEBfactory's i4SCADA. Thanks for staying with me on this configuration journey in i4SCADA Studio. Keep an eye on WEBfactory's i4SCADA playlist for more in-depth configuration videos like this one. Until next time, stay safe.